Last weekend was WonderCon 2025, and with that over and done with, the next big convention for Funko is, of course, San Diego Comic-Con this upcoming July. I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be making my Funko Pop predictions for San Diego Comic-Con 2025. And for this video, I'll be making a total of 10 predictions, one for different categories that I usually do that I'll name off throughout this video. But if you do end up enjoying this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and especially subscribe. But nonetheless, let's kick off this video. So the first category for this video will be ad icons, and the pop that I'm predicting is a skateboarding Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes. Now this is actually based off of the older commercial back in the day where Tony the Tiger is skateboarding in the skate park. And especially with San Diego Comic-Con taking place in the summertime, of course skateboarding is a summer activity and would go along with this. Funko in the past have done summer related pops for San Diego Comic-Con, example being 2 years ago in 2023 where we actually had a surfing Tony the Tiger Funko Pop. And honestly, if this pop ended up becoming true, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like that surfing Tony the Tiger, where there would be one regular version that's shared to the Funko shop while the other one is a flocked version limited to either 2,000 or 3,000 pieces. The second category is animation, which my prediction is the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents. Not only did we get our first Fairly Odd Parents pop 2 years ago at San Diego Comic-Con with the 3-pack, and not only did we get the first wave of Fairly Odd Parents pops recently, but at the last convention Funko was a part of with WonderCon, we did get the Anti-Cosmo and Wanda 2-pack for the convention. So it makes me think that perhaps for the big 3 conventions for Funko that we are getting a Fairly Odd Parents related pop, and I think the Crimson Chin would be a perfect one for San Diego Comic-Con. The next category is anime, and I'm gonna go with the Mini Mary Pop Rides from One Piece. Normally for these videos, I don't do anime as a category and that would just be thrown with animation, but I felt that because of how big anime has been in the Funko Pop world, that it deserved its own category this time around. With WonderCon this year, Funko had made the Nami with White Hobby Horse Pop Rides. And with that, Funko had actually done a live stream on their Instagram, and one of the social media ambassadors had actually mentioned that they are actually going to be doing the rest of the rides involving with the Thousand Sunny Soldier dock throughout 2025. So with that being said, I pretty much have a 50-50 chance on either getting this right or wrong, whether it's going to be the Mini Mary as that rides or it ends up being the Shark Submerge. And I feel like because if you look at the actual docking station with the White Hobby Horse being number 1, the Mini Mary is on number 2 while the Shark Submerge is number 3, which makes me think that the Mini Mary is going to be for San Diego Comic-Con while we'll get the last one at New York Comic-Con later this fall. The next category is Disney, in which my prediction is Evil Dr. Porkchop from Toy Story. If this pop were to come true, I would be so ecstatic about this. This year does mark the 30th anniversary for Toy Story, in which there already is a rumor of a wave of pops coming out. And of course at WonderCon, we did get the tin toy for Toy Story, which makes me think that we're getting more Toy Story pops throughout 2025. And I feel like for San Diego Comic-Con, it's not going to be a brand new character, but rather something they've made in the past, but slightly different. Like for C2E2 last year, we had gotten a Buzz Lightyear and Woody 2-pack, which they've made lots of pops of them, but they are playing video games. And only once have they done a Ham pop for the 20th anniversary lineup, so it makes sense 10 years after the fact, we bring Ham back into the lineup, but slightly different, with him wearing the top hat as Evil Dr. Porkchop, and I think that would be sweet. And of course, I would buy it because Toy Story is my number 1 set of pops that I collect. The next category I have here is games, in which I'm predicting a 10-inch Raikou from Pokemon. And this is mainly because of the fact that for WonderCon, we did get the 10-inch Suicune for the Pokemon lineup. And in the year prior, we had various 10-inch Pokemon pops of Pokemon that had never been made before, mainly for Gen 4, while Suicune is a legendary Pokemon a part of Gen 2, which makes me think yet again that for New York Comic-Con and of course San Diego Comic-Con, we will get the other two of Raikou and Entei, and I feel like just like the One Piece rides that I had mentioned, and there is a 50-50 chance that I end up either getting this right or wrong. So if it's not Raikou, it's gonna end up being Entei and then Raikou for New York Comic Con, but I'm gonna say Raikou here and then Entei for New York Comic Con. Today I wanted to give a shout out to Sentinel 107, and the reason I'm giving them a shout out is because they signed up for our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month, which not only do you get a shout out on every single video, but you also get a bunch of other perks like using custom emojis in the comments, and more importantly, early access to every videos and shorts that we do on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It'll be greatly appreciated and will help out this channel tremendously, especially because of how expensive these videos can be to do for you guys. So definitely consider, but nonetheless, let's continue on with this video. The next category is Marvel and DC, and I'm gonna go with a pop moments of Deadpool and Wolverine. And this specifically is, of course, near the end of the movie involving the Time Ripper. Also due to the fact that U2s had actually already pulled off their figure, and knowing how Funko usually operates, they're usually late to the game on capitalizing on awesome moments by releasing them way past when the movie released, when not a lot of people are talking about that specific movie anymore. But if there's a few pops for this movie that they should still do, this Moments is definitely one of them, and I could see them doing this for San Diego Comic-Con. The next category is the movies lineup, and I had predicted a young George McFly for Back to the Future. Now, like I mentioned, with Toy Story celebrating 30 years this year, Back to the Future celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. And a few years back with the Back to the Future NFTs, we had a young Lorraine Baines, but the George McFly, the first one ever for that set, was the older George McFly that would represent him from 1985. And a lot of people were wondering why there wasn't a younger George McFly, and it makes me think that perhaps we're gonna get it at some point, and I could see it happening at San Diego Comic-Con. And I also wouldn't be surprised if perhaps this might not be a singular pop, but rather a two-pack involving another Lorraine Baines for the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, since Funko has done in the past where they've made a pop into an NFT and then later into a regular release, but with a slightly different mold. Which, once again, this would definitely be a pop that I buy because Back to the Future is one of my favorite sets that I collect pops for. The next category is Star Wars, in which I am predicting an Anakin Skywalker for Revenge of the Sith. Now, originally I was worried about making this because of that Star Wars Celebration list of exclusives supposedly coming out, but then it turned out to be an April Fool's joke, so I guess I am safe on saying this prediction. And more specifically, it will be Anakin Skywalker with the double lightsabers, where he has the red and the blue lightsaber before he basically decapitates Count Dooku's head. And once again, talking about anniversaries, this year is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, so we know that there's probably going to be a decent amount of pops coming out, especially there already having been a TargetCon exclusive release with Darth Vader. So I feel like in some way, shape, or form, there's going to be a Revenge of the Sith pop coming out for San Diego Comic-Con, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's this idea with Anakin Skywalker that I mentioned. The next category is television, in which I have a ballerina AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. Last year, we had ourselves the return of Saved by the Bell in Funko Pop form after not having a wave since that original wave that came out in late 2015. And for that set, even though we got a brand new character with Mr. Belding that we wish was a part of Wave 1, we got newer versions of Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski, but there are some other versions of other characters that I feel like should be made, including ballerina AC Slater. And because the fictional school of Bayside High takes place in California, where San Diego Comic-Con is taking place, I feel like it's a no-brainer that we could get a Saved by the Bell pop being released for San Diego Comic-Con, considering we haven't gotten any more new ones since that new wave. And the last category I have here is miscellaneous, so anything from other categories that I didn't mention. So I can now mention, let's say, a Pop Rocks, I could mention a Retro Toys, maybe an Icons pop perhaps, but the pop I'm going here is BJ from Barney for the Retro Toys lineup. This year is the 80th anniversary for Mattel, and there have been quite a bit of pops they've done for the set, including just announced a few days ago, Shattered Telephone. And they did announce the first set of Barney pops with Barney and Baby Bop that are a part of the Retro Toys lineup, but people were probably wondering why wasn't BJ announced alongside them? And that's because I think that they're going to make BJ as a Comic-Con exclusive since they have yet to announce that character as even a regular exclusive. So I think even with the Pops now being available in stores, it makes it very likely for it to release at San Diego Comic-Con